Moving on, we are honored to have Dr. Harish K Sardana among our guest speakers today. He is currently Chief Scientist at CSIR Central Scientific Instruments Organization, Chandigarh. He started his career in 1982 after completing his graduation in Electronics and Communication Engineering from Regional Engineering College, Kurukshetra, now NIT Kurukshetra.
He completed his Masters in Engineering from PEC Chandigarh and PhD from the University of Nottingham, UK in 1989 and 1993 respectively. He completed his PhD under the Nehru Centenary British Scholarship during the year 1990 to 93 in the area of image processing and pattern recognition.
Sir is a renowned inventor and mentor with 20 patents and 16 PhDs under him. We are blessed to have him here today.
So without any further ado, I would like to invite Sir to share his journey and impart us some valuable life lessons. We cordially welcome you, Sir.
Thank you, and happy Engineers Day.
Thank you, sir.
So I look forward to interacting youth of this nation, and I am happy to note that you all took this initiative to celebrate it yourself and make the lead. And I was really enjoying the previous speaker mentioning about various qualities of an engineer. I was rather envious of the speaker that really touched the sentiments of all employers and people who seek fresh youth into the mainstream, into the manufacturing industries, research and laboratories, and government, and all other avenues. So nice to hear from him, and yes, I hope you gathered the gist of his gyan from Gita and also from engineering as Engineers Day. So let me, because I was asked to speak on Industrial Revolution 4.0. By the way, how many of you know that Prime Minister said something similar to our leaders of the technical institutions? Recently on July 8 or 9, on that day, he met about 100 leaders of institutions of technical institutions which are centrally funded. So he gave a vision that all institutions must make engineers, technical institutions who produce engineers who are ready. I mean, I could show that. I mean, you could Google and find that statement. In a different slide I had it, but right now I'm sharing with you the same that he mentioned, that make the youth of this country ready for Industrial Revolution 4, which may come, so that they may handle any disruptions which happened last more than 1 year now, this pandemic which happened in the whole world. So in a way now, yesterday, one of your friend called me and then he asked me to, talk about Industrial Revolution 4. So I'm sharing with you some material, and the purpose is to create and sensitize some kind of more dialogue with you. And therefore, I will like to be brief, say about 15 minutes or so, and then see if you could interact and raise your questions. And so that when you raise your questions, we feel that you are responding, and you sometimes I provoke, just before I was sharing a slide before my students, that the youth of this country, as the previous speaker said, that we are not very employable. In fact, one of the leaders of industry, Vishal Sikka, who was in Infosys, and I have been sharing his statement many times. that we produce youth who just follow the orders, who are okay, good for, as he said, good engineer, but he was asking, the previous speaker was asking for great engineer, because simply engineering means that maybe you are solving problems that others have posed before you. But are you really able to create problems? Create in the sense not that you are a problem maker. Create in the sense you see the problems? Can you identify the problems? So while I would have talked very well, maybe happily on that topic, but I hope the previous speaker did some good justice to this good to great, as we call in leadership, how to change your journey from good to great. So this industrial revolution, because that is what is expected today. So I'll share few things so that all engineers from different branches could see themselves into it. So let me see if I can share the slides. Just a second. Can you see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is to bring everybody, and let us assume that Industrial Revolution 4 is not for a particular branch of engineering, and it is not for people who are taught about IoT, or who are taught about cloud, or who are taught about machine intelligence. It is for all the branches, and not just for branches of engineering, but also from other disciplines, all like the new education policy talks about. So in resonance with what I shared about Prime Minister's concern, is that if we do not make our youth ready for it, and the industry 4.0 also, if one connects it well, you will see, if you could connect well with national education policy also 2020, if your institution has considered that, there you will see all interdisciplinary courses, programs together, and also students working together, not just like engineers from different branches being taught for their graduation or post graduation programs at one place. So you may find dental institute, law institute, or law schools, as we call in many campuses. So various interdisciplinary schools working together, and if they really work together, which is expected of National Education Policy 2020, then probably we will have industries which are 4.0, and industries who work in collaboration with R&D, like ours. We are research and development lab of the nation, CSR labs, as you see my designation, and I am both a scientist as well as a professor in our post graduation and PhD programs. So in a way, I can say that ACSIR, as you may know, Academy of Scientific and Innovative Research, is an institution for interdisciplinary programs, and 2009 onwards we planned for it, and 2011 we had the first PhD program launched, and before that the MTech program, or it was PG program, which got well accepted as MTech program from ACSR. So in a way, the conception of this came in 2009, and the delivery of this ACSR came in 2011. So the birthday for ACSR is considered as January onwards. Anyway, those details are part of our, in a way, brief bio that was shared. But coming to you together, how all branches, all engineers and MBAs and even law, or financial, you can say, experts, CA from, say, your friendship circles, could work together, is the biggest motive behind this Industrial Revolution 4, as well as national education policy. So now keep that broadness in mind, first working together as different engineers. And let me tell you, even if n number of engineers, 3 or 4 work together, they will not be able to form an entrepreneur. They will not be able to work for Industrial Revolution 4 or work for launching something in the country. So anyway, so with that provocation in mind, so I'm sharing that. Anyway, this may sound history. So let's go back to talk about only third revolution that we might have seen, which is largely about computers and automation. This probably is relatively better known to you as students of graduation or post-graduation program. And we are now moving to the intelligence, the cyber, nature of physical systems, how the mind, like human body is not just body, but the human body is having a lot of intelligence. So we work together as a body and mind. So therefore the cyber physical systems are the key factors in Industrial Revolution 4, where industry has intelligence also built in. So you can take it as automation was previous generation, like you may have seen industries, auto industry making cars, producing a lot of industrial products, but the intelligence for the machines, for the materials within the machine, for the maintenance of things, for even the people who work with those machines, who take care of those machines, or if they have any role in machines, is coming from Industrial Revolution 4. So in brief, you can see the material indicated here. So again, Industrial 4, again I can jump. You can see the previous mechanization to automation from Industrial 1 to 3. And now the 4 talks about smart factory, which is autonomous. Autonomous in nature. Have you seen in jungle? Who controls the jungle? How come animals live in the jungle? How come fruits and food for animals is available? Who is doing that? How in a forest you find everything happening? How in nature? From forest probably you may have better relation to nature. How in nature everything is working automatically if humans are not there? What do you think? What do you think humans do to the forest? What do you think humans do to the natural animal living? Do you think you do it? Consider about it. In the next few minutes, we'll interact with you. So we are talking about a smart factory, which is autonomous decision making. Autonomous means it is not that somebody is there to look at material, somebody is there to look at the maintenance, somebody is there to see whether the machine is working fine or not, or somebody looking at whether there is a power or other problem or anything, all kind of interruptions or anything. Are they autonomously taken care of by the machines? So now if you think of an industry where every machine has a sense using IoT, and if the IoT device on the machine, not one device, a number of devices, like sensors you have. If you have any health problem, you declare to the members near you, somehow you communicate, and then you get a doctor or you kind of help. So similarly, could Industry 4.0 imagination that you may have now generate a kind of concept where every item, every producing element in the industry has a sense of its own? Using IoT sensors, it has some minimal computing so that it can communicate well, so that it can diagnose or share something that it is passing through, and let at a higher level, at a cloud level, some decision making happen, and then appropriate actions taken care of. And that too all seamlessly. If it is stopping the process, let the whole industry be stopped, if at all. Or if it can go away, be away from the system, and still let the industry continue, or have any kind of slow working or no working or whatever. So all that intelligence created from one of the machine or one of the equipment or one of the facility within the industry, which may engage people or may not engage people, but still has an autonomy in it. That is the kind of cyber physical system with decision making autonomously through previous kind of some programming, but it is happening. And then it handles all data. Like your human body, though you may not be aware, how do you know that your liver is working, your lungs are working, your heart is breathing? How is that everything happening automatically? How is it happening? And if there is a serious problem, you come to know, you have a feel that you are hungry, you have a feel that you are having some pain, headache, you get a feel of thing on your head, isn't it? So imagine like a human being, or see as a jungle or forest where things go automatically. This factory is autonomous and has a sense, right? And can take some corrective actions, or at least seek some help or need or any interventions, if at all, from humans. So either it does but it has its own sense, has that the whole industry has its own sense. So that is the kind of imagination we are creating. If you really feel it is not possible, then you are missing the bus. You are missing Industrial Revolution 4. The world is moving to even 5, let me tell you. Industry 4.0 is migrating to 5.0. Where are you? That is the big question we are raising. So what are the principles? Are these the principles studied in your coursework? Did you consider these things in your branch? Did you have this? Interconnection. How the industry connects to different modules of manufacturing. How they have information transparency, that their information is available all over. Does it help humans? Does it seek help from humans? Or humans are always on it? That is the difference now. Decentralized decision. Is it that there is some central machine? Maybe. Or is it that distributed decision? That machine can make some decisions, or everything goes to a central level. These are some of the principles that are part of Industry 4.0. Now, if you are keen to know what are the technologies, what are the options for you, what are the job opportunities, you can see. All these are the terms for you. Any one of you, any one of those, that you can pick up any one of the options here and see that your industry is following at least one of these. If you're joining an industry, or if you're really picking up areas, considering them, see that you have any one of them at least. If you have any one of them, then hopefully your industry will, or is already graduating to 4.0. And then these are the areas. Are you aware of additive manufacturing? Are you aware of cyber security? Are you aware of Internet of Things? Of course, I mentioned autonomous robots. Additive manufacturing, by the way, if you know, you may have heard 3D printing. So 3D printing follows the principle of additive manufacturing. So if you are not aware of them, be aware of them. And then when they all go under the umbrella of AI and ML, that is artificial intelligence and machine learning, then you can imagine you are ready. In a way, there is a question that we generally raise: are we ready for Industry 4.0? I mean, are we just waiting? Are we in? Or are we ready? These are the questions that you can raise, you can assume. Now, I will not take long time so that I may go on talking about this. So the purpose is not to give you full tutorial on, say, Industry 4.0, but sensitize you enough to the extent as a student you can understand. So there is a 6D model, that is 6-dimensional model for assessing readiness. So this could be more management, but if you gather these points, whether your industry which you are joining or about to join or considering, they have strategy and organization. That means, do they have strategy that they are moving, graduating, or have a plan to enter into that? Do they understand the concept of smart factory that I mentioned, where the whole factory becomes one entity as a smart entity, and we call it smart factory. I gave few things in the previous slide, so hopefully you gather them. And smart operations. So in a way, some of the things may go beyond your comprehension at this level, So I'm just leaving some of them as smart operations, that their operations are smarter. When they work together, they know, that means the machines know how they are doing, how much is the readiness of material being produced, how will that product produce material go beyond, what will this component lead to, etc. So are these smart products? Now you say, what is smart product? I mean, you heard, I mean, you all use smartphones, isn't it? Smartphone is an example of course, smart product, which you have been using from the last more than decade now. Of course, the country has it available. So in a way, a big population of this country uses smartphones, probably the largest numbers, and then data driven. So if it is becoming a lot of technical, okay, you get some feel of what the smart factory means and what are the other things. Data driven and employees also. So employees are not out of the factory, but they are not the kind of role, they are not playing the kind of role that previously, say, Industrial Revolution 3 was expecting. So in a way, total. This is all what makes an industry ready for Industry 4.0. All these 6 dimensions. At least few of them must be visibly there. Others may come in time also. But that is what is expected. Now this is what it is about smart factory, which has digital nature. In a way, absolutely, as much as possible, if you could make 100% digital, then at least smart factory, you can think of 100% digital. If it is 100%, that makes it at least whole digital modeling can be done. Equipment infrastructure, as we mentioned, with all IoT and everything. Then they have not physical, but data connectivity, data usage, and of course, IT systems behind providing all connectivity. Smart product, ICT add-on functionality. So I'll let me not get into the technical jargon, but just to give you a feel that there is some portion of physical. What do you mean by physical? Means body. And there is some virtual, which is more like mind. So operations are mindful, services are mindful, but the products are physical. Factory is physical. So physical body producing physical goods, but having a lot of virtual sense that remains within the factory. So the virtual sense of smart operations and services remain within the factory, but smart factory produces smart products. That is the aim. Okay, I hope you are getting. Well, I'll just take 1 or 2 more slides and leave rest for discussion. So we have, this is more about, okay, as far as employees are concerned, are you ready for such kind of factory? As an employee of that factory, skill set and skill acquisition. What new skills are required? Previous skill set and new skill set. That is for employees. Since if you are a new employee, then of course you need to be ready from the college institute itself. And other things are strategic and organization. I have kept it on the way that the industry must also know how to migrate in an innovative manner, how to move from the current generation to the new generation. That is what was expected of the industry, that it has a strategy of innovation where they know how to move from one stage to the next stage. Operational intelligence comes with that, both strategy and of the organization or industry and employees together. Then they can see efficiency, enhanced efficiency, greater automation. So you see, if you have this, the overall operational excellence means as much total digitalization can give you total automation, isn't it? So the two go together. Can you imagine customized product at the cost of mass product? Have you seen, you like tailor-made? The previous, by the Western worlds were giving you ready-made shirts. What is the difference between a ready-made shirt and a tailor-made shirt? You can imagine. The old concept in India, when we say everything is man-made, a tailor is stitching something for you, was more customized. Whether you like a good tailor or not, whether you have a good tailor or not, that's not the point we are discussing. The point is it customized for you? Or is it just large, medium, excellent, XL size? Are you wearing that kind of dresses? Or are you imagining customized product which is perfectly suited to your body? That is the meaning of customized products. Today we are producing 3D printed, implants. if you by chance, if you anybody in your family, or if you had any issue of any bone implants, now we do have 3D metal printing facility here, where we design customized implants for patients, wherein if you need a particular size of the bone, say hip bone, my mother had a hip bone transplant, implant. So we bought a ready-made body bone and just fit it in her body. Now, how do you think it will work for her? Or will it work for same thing for Dara Singh and same thing for somebody else? Or Khali for that matter, who may be 6 foot, 7 foot person? So therefore, customized products, could they be customized? That means each one of the patient will have their own sized implant, or your dresses as an ordinary person, or maybe customized car for you, right, etc., etc. So I hope that gives you a feeling of it, and so that you can have expanded services. So in this, if this happens, then you have a better and better services coming forward. So see, the product and service industries are connected. If you buy a mobile phone, tomorrow you have to have a mobile service provider. You cannot do one. You cannot do with one only. So you need to have together. So products and services go together. So such services will automatically come. That means you have better services. If you were buying a product from Amazon, today you could go next level. You start ordering or giving your avatar. Maybe you start giving your picture, or you start giving your customized requirements, which is not yet the case. Today, if you buy a shirt or any dress, you just give size, or you just pick up a size. So imagine more services can come from such digital, logistic chain that you have seen in Uber, on other restaurants giving you Swiggy. All these services are already expanded services now coming up, but they could, well, they are not, they are just indicative of expanded services. But if you have smart factory, you will have many expanded services within the factory, from the factory, directly reaching you without a Swiggy man coming to you, maybe a drone coming to you, like that. Drone services, for example. Okay, so I hope it is time for me to stop here. And, just to give you that there are other purposes of 6 C's if you want. The 6 D's I mentioned, so I'll stop at 6 C's. What are those 6 C's? Connection, which is between sensor and networks. So far you have been understanding only networks connectivity. Now the sensor will come from instrumentation, so that the sense of each device, in the smart factory produces some information and tells to the next level, either at processing, if it is within the level we call edge computing. So whatever processing it can do, it does there, and then passes out rest to cloud computing, so that larger, smarter, smart factory decision making are taking place. So computing, cyber, of course, we mentioned, where model and memory go together. The cyber word is a key word here. C for content. A lot of content will be required, content and context. So if it is becoming too managerial, okay, some of you may find, where is that? Now it shows that MBAs, chartered accountants, law graduates, and medical professionals, as I mentioned, customized 3D printing, customization, all that can happen in the next generation of factories, Industrial Revolution 4. So, okay, is it time for me now? Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, where are we now? So now I leave this question to you. I will not take more time unless you raise questions. Then I can share with other materials. But I think our assessment should be where we are now. Now let us spend some time, or if you have time to interact or any questions, to ponder over where we are and what can we do about it. So maybe if time permits, if there is another speaker waiting for the time, then probably we may not have, but anyway, so depending upon how much. Organizers, yes, what is the plan now? Thank you for patient listening anyway.
Thank you, sir. Those are some really innovative thoughts to work upon. Your thoughts on the next industrial revolution really gave us a glimpse of the future tech yug. We all really need to prepare for the skill set, and it is surely the hour's demand.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
All the concerns raised by you are real, sir, and we are the people who will have to come forward and take on the challenges of this fast-changing industry. We know that no industry can survive without the academic institutions, and the vice versa is also true.
Yes. Yeah. I hope you will gain a
Thank
lot
you,
from
sir.
this. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.